scoreline aside for you?
Yeah, if you judge the game on the scoreboard alone, it's not pretty obviously, but felt a bit different. I think our effort were good. Our young lads, well, did what I asked them to do, come with some enthusiasm and energy, and I think we come undone through inexperience at times and a determined, relentless St Helens team who were really good, and you can tell they've been hurting and well as got up and they've come and done a really professional job tonight, so they've done their part. And you know, for what I asked of them, I weren't judging them on the scoreboard tonight. Obviously we all want the 2 points, but we're not there at the moment. We need to get our effort, the talent and stuff where it needs to be, and I didn't think it was too far off tonight.
How proud are you? Because there was a lot of young bodies out there tonight.
Oh yeah, little Logan Moy at the back, tiny thing, got belted a couple of times, but brave, got up, made some errors, but didn't let him affect him, got on with his game. I thought Zach Jebson come on, give us some energy. I thought Matty Laidlaw was brilliant, as was Will Gardner. I keep going, you know, with some of that youth in the team, they were good. But yeah, not good enough, there's still a long way to go, but as far as effort goes, I say, it felt a bit different, and they probably give themselves a little baseline there of how their effort needs to be. We just need to add all the other bits to it, and we might be a challenge for someone coming up soon.
What were you picking out? Obviously, effort, one thing that felt a bit different tonight. Was there anything else that felt different to the previous rounds of this year?
I've been doing the messages, obviously. That was my role on game day up until today. So I've been on the field, running the messages, and when you're running on with the same message, you know, the same outcomes are happening. The lads were going into the shells quite a lot, but the feedback tonight was, you know, the chat were really good from those older blokes that were on the field, and I thought they really wanted to do a good job, because they know they haven't been doing a good enough one. They want to do a good job for those young lads coming in and not make it a too damaging experience for them. And I thought they did well. Herman did a good stint for us out there. It's the most senior forward we had out there, and Danny Allen was very good. But obviously, we have to look after the old boy now and again and give Deneve a chance out there. And I thought he showed some real good qualities. But yeah, I think it just felt a bit different in the sense of, you'd argue it looked like the towel's been thrown on occasion. I thought they kept going. As I say, inexperience and, you know, the quality of the opposition really did undo us tonight, but effort, I don't think they got beat there.
Without trying to make excuses for anybody, but could you attribute the higher scoreline to fatigue because you just had to do so much of that solid defence?
Yeah,
in the
I mean,
first half?
we have some live stats. I think we had about 30% of the ball. We're on the end of I don't know what, I think we got a couple of penalties towards the end, which you normally do, don't you? After going behind on it, but yeah, it was just, listen, it was a tough day at office. They've earned themselves, you know, a little bit of rest there, but we get some time with each other next week on a long turnaround and get into the next one.
What do you think you'll spend that time looking at, given this long turnaround, like you say?
Defence, just defence. I think we've got our points scored are obviously not great, but the points against are way worse. So I think we can put a lot of time into that, and a couple of little tweaks which we tried this week, but we were short on time, to be fair. But we've got a good week to go at it next week. I think the points bit, if you get yourselves defending well, you get a little bit more. You're receiving the ball in better areas. You're not as tired of giving penalties away, and you get more possession in the end, and then we'll worry about what we look like with the ball.
What were the tweaks that you tried that you'll have more time with now?
I think we've just been overly aggressive in areas. Us making the decision at times when there are times and areas of the field where you can let the opposition make the decision. You just have to hold your nerve, and we haven't been good at that of late. Just change a couple of little things for them, and I thought they did it pretty well at times tonight. But again, they didn't nail that, and we need to work on it because it's a big thing. You know, I think they scored a couple from our half, which the improvement I can tell you from the last one was we conceded a lot of breaks from our half against Huddersfield last time out. So there's a couple of tweaks that helped us there, but again it weren't perfect, and we will spend a lot of time on it next week.
The 0 on the scoreline always hurts on your side. Did you see some green shoots of potential in the way that you were spreading Saints laterally and seemed to have some go forward?
I think when we did what we practiced, that's what it looked like. But when you're out there and your heart's beating out of your chest, and they're overwhelming, that's what they're good at doing. They strangle you out of games, and it's hard to get that off. We need to be a little bit braver and a little bit smarter when we are tired, I think, but that'll come through more, repetitions in training and all the rest of it, but ultimately we get our D right, we get a bit more time with the ball, and we'll see a little bit more of that.
Are these young lads not struggling with their confidence on the wrong end of some of these big results, but a lot of them have had a lot of game time this season, probably more than you'd ideally want to give them? How are they feeling about it, or what's their mentality like at this stage?
I think with young lads generally you want to get them in. So Jack Charles is an example. He's a very talented young player. He could go a very long way and be a very good player for this club for a long time, I'm sure. But ideal world, you're putting Charlesy in and when this team's going well, and you can drip him in and drop him out, and let him learn on the run and go back and practice some stuff in the reserves or whatever it might be. But we are where we are, and he's getting way more than he thought he was going to get at this time. But I think he's given a good account of himself, definitely. In terms of their confidence, they're just young and they're loving it. Like they're hating the losses. Well, the majority of those young lads are all full boys. It's hard to walk around town when you're getting an idea like that. Yeah, it's hurting them. It's hurting all of them. But yeah, they're learning nonetheless. And in the end, sometime in the future, they're good lessons to look back on.
As well as your returnees from suspension and injury, you're hoping to have some fresh faces to play with next time you go out?
Yeah, I think there's conversations happening all the time, not just with the arrival of Richie, but the conversations have been going on. But it's difficult. It's really early in the season, and teams are not too keen on letting go of their talent. And obviously, with the ban situation and all these things, and the cup's still going on, there's a lot of reasons why they should keep hold of them as well. So we're just in that position where we've got what we've got, and we'll just keep getting on with it. And if we can add to it, that would be great. And obviously, as you say, we get a couple back from bans this week, which will definitely help us out.
And when Adam said last week, if you win your next 3 games, you're in with a shout of the seat, did you think, you've given me a hell of a job there?
We had a laugh about that. Bit of a week for all of us. Obviously, Adam felt the need to speak about it. Obviously, need to let our fans and whatnot know what's going on at their club. And I think in all of that came out here, did make quite a funny line. If you win your next 3, based on the 3 we had before it, bloody hell, bit of a tough audition. But I'm not too fussed about that. I came to be an assistant coach, and I find myself in this spot now after a very strange week. And I'll just keep getting on with it until I'm told otherwise.
And a quick line on your travelling fans, because even after a strange week, they were there and in voice for you behind the sticks.
Yeah, I thought that was brilliant, and the lads made sure they went to let them know they appreciated them, which is really important. The fans, it's tough. I mean, getting booed at home and all those bits we've had just recently. I know I'm a fan of all sports, and I get dirty on my team when they're not going well. Ultimately, we want them to win. I don't think there's any real malice in any sports fan. They just want the team to win, don't they? They want to see a better version of them, and what we can say to them is we have been and we will continue to be striving to get back to that team that they can be proud of. But I think in terms of effort, if they judge the game alone on that, I think those young lads, they did make them proud, I think, tonight.
Thanks for your time.
Grixie, Jude Knockenbar, Liam Tyndall both left out the side. Will they be playing reserves tomorrow?
Yeah, they'll be in tomorrow. You've got to pick a team, haven't you? 17. I think Ock in particular, obviously we're not seeing a lot of Liam because of his injuries, and that's probably why he needs to get a bit more time at reserves. But going back to Ock, it'd be unfair to single him out, because I think as a side we've not been nowhere near where we need to be. But Ock would be first to tell you that he's not happy with his form and he's not played at the level we needed to play at. So honest conversations have been ongoing, and he has been working hard, but I felt it might do him some good to go and play in the reserves and get some confidence back, because I think until you're truly confident in yourself, I don't think people around you are going to feel that from you, that you can't. I'm not sure you can fake it. And with the start we've had and the pressure and the eyes that go on overseas signings at every club, he's had a bit on him. He's got an opportunity there, just a bit of a reset, and go and have an enjoyable run out tomorrow with those young lads and work on a few things we spoke on, and give himself an opportunity to come back.
What are those few things you're looking for? Like, what are the specifics?
Just his energy and work in the game. He's going to play middle for us with the reserves. I just want him to be available, getting his hands on the ball, and then his movements when he hasn't got the ball are really important. A lot of the game I know we see all the landmark things that happen in a game, but high percentage of the game you haven't got the ball in your hands, and that's really important what you do when you haven't got it. Sock's going to go there tomorrow, and he's going to have a good attitude, apply himself, and we'll see what it looks like next week.
Jack Walker, is he confirmed in this side for tomorrow now?
Yeah, Jack's going to play 40 minutes for reserves tomorrow. I suppose it's a live training session, really. We need to get him just ticking the boxes to make sure he's ready to come back into contention for the first team. But young boy did a pretty good job tonight, so we'll see how Jack goes.
Cheers.
No worries.
Anyone else? Has Richard had a chance to have any influence this week, Sam?
I think Rich at the minute. When did he come in?
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday he come in. Thursday he came and spent the day with us.
Yeah.
Listen, I think Rich's first bit, coming into a new environment, you need to just soak it up really and get a feel for what's going on around you, and ultimately sort of decipher where we're at, and then we can start planning how we move forward and what that should look like and where we want to be moving down the track. But he's certainly keen to, he's not thinking about 2025 solely and how that looks. We've still got a long way to go this year, and he's certainly looking at how we can strengthen this year as well.
Well, good. 11 hold-on players in the squad tonight. How much of a positive is that for you?
Big positive, and a lot of them are very green as well. Can't count Danny out in that, but those young lads have got, I don't know, they've not, like, apart from obviously Lane is in there with some games, but a lot of them young kids have not got 30 games between them, I'd imagine, or less than that probably being a bit generous. So they've got a long way to go in their learning, but as I said in reference to another question there, that it's all good learning in the end. It doesn't feel great now, but it will be good for them down the track. So, and again, that's this club is something that I think Tony spoke about. Certainly since I've been there, I'm trying to bring these lads through and how important it is to have them. And we just need to work really hard, coach hard with them to try and get them up and improve them fast, really, so they can learn fast. Yeah.
And of course, we've got a home game next. How important is it to get as many Hull fans down there to show them that they are really backing them? Like we've seen tonight, we've seen them applauded off the pitch despite losing 58-0. How important is it to get the supporters down to watch that game next week?
I watched Hull last year in a difficult season, and I thought they were brilliant last year. It turned out, I know Tony had referenced it a lot throughout the year, and it is important to support the lads. We are where we are, but those lads are still their team, so getting behind is really important. And again, if they look solely for the scoreboard at the moment, with where we're at in terms of where our team is and the inexperience and all those things on there, they will come away disappointed. Yeah, they will come away disappointed on occasion. Of course they will, but I think if they can get that sort of effort every week, that's kind of what your fans want to see, isn't it? A good workmanlike performance that shows you care for it, and I'm sure they'll see that again next week. And you never know, get a few bodies back. We practice hard.